Hi guys, Chris here, and I haven't done a sports video for a while, so I wanted to talk about why I think Payne Haas should go and join R360. Take the money, go and have some fun, go and do it. So first of all, what is R360? So some of you guys will know, some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. It has been dubbed in the Australian media for sure a rebel league for rugby. As rugby union, which is distinguishable from rugby league, of course, and the main backers are in Dubai, but there's backers and people involved all around the world, including Michael Tyndall, who's a great English rugby union player. However, the group, and they're called 885 Capital, are Dubai based, and they're the primary backers, so that's where a lot of the money is for these new sporting movements today, like boxing and golf that I've heard about. But it's a big competition which should be starting as was planned to start in October next year, 2026. They're going to start with 12 teams, 8 men's, 4 women's, and they're going to take those 12 teams around big cities all around the world for different weekends, with supposedly a gap in between. And those cities, they don't include Australia, but they include London, Barcelona, Tokyo, Cape Town, Boston, New York, Miami, Lisbon, Madrid, Sao Paulo, Los Angeles, Paris, and of course, Dubai. So the teams will travel all at once. There's going to be a big spectacle, almost like a festival of rugby in each city. And to me, as a sports fan, and in particular a rugby fan, it sounds interesting. I'm not going to lie. Not that I plan on it very soon, but if I was planning a big trip around a calendar, I would consider that. It just sounds interesting. Now, of course, the powers that be in Australia, and I think around the world, in rugby union and rugby league, they don't like this. At the moment, it's unsanctioned by World Rugby, and to be eligible for an international competition to represent your country, you need to play in competitions that are sanctioned. So that the idea is that they look into things like player welfare, etc., etc. So that's been one critique that's been levelled. However, the ultimate question is that gatekeepers that are trying to protect their turf and their money, or are they genuinely interested, in an altruistic sense, a pure-hearted sense, like they're just focusing on the kingdom of God and the sport and the good for humanity? I am sure it's a mixture of both. In fact, I'll pretty much guarantee it. So especially rugby league in Australia. I'm sorry to say, but hey, I love the game. Got good friends that are huge Broncos fans. I'm in Brisbane right now, in case you didn't know. And Brisbane were just the most recent premiership winners, which is a massive deal, of course. So congrats to the Broncos and all the Brisbane Broncos fans, including Payne Haas. But that's a long intro. But why do I think he should do it? Well, yes, he's going to make a lot of money. So reportedly, this Dubai-backed group is throwing a lot of money into this, as you can imagine they can. The top players, and Payne Haas is absolutely one of the best rugby players in the world, rugby league players in the world, period. I was wondering if he's the best in Australia or top 3. I'm sure he's top 3. I don't know if you had to compare him to someone like Nathan Cleary. I'm not, that's above my pay grade to do that, but he's one of the top in Australia and in the world. And he's 25, so he's got some great sport, years ahead of him still. The Broncos would love to keep him, but he will make a lot of money. Reportedly, $5 million a season. And I was reading the Australian papers. I assume that's Australian dollars. That's what's that roughly? To compare it, 3 million US, maybe roughly. Take tax off that, so it's reportedly 3 million after tax a year, Australian. So that would set up his family for life, playing 1 year, even if he bowed out and retired. If he made some good moves with that money, I suppose. Played 2 years, 3 years, don't have to think about money ever again, and unless one was to do something foolish. But why I think he should do it, because of the experience. He's done everything in his career that he wanted to do so far. Let me think. I'm not a rugby historian or media pundit. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel, but I believe he's won a World Cup for Australia. I'm pretty sure when I think about it. He's represented Samoa in the World Cup, and I assume he was playing when Samoa came second. Maybe I'm going to check and he was playing for Australia, but he's played at the top tier and won at the highest level. He's now a NRL champion. He's played State of Origin, which is arguably the greatest rugby league stage in the world. It's comparable to international competition for sure. And this is an opportunity to travel and see some of the greatest cities in the world. No disrespect to my country, Australia, my country, New Zealand. It'd just be an amazing experience. So assuming they do take player welfare seriously, and I understand that's a question and there's some grey area there. So if he's smart, he's going to look into that, and all the players that are considering offers from R360, they'll consider that. And you keep your cards hidden until you know that. You don't sign until you know. That's fair. Of course, Peter V'landys and the Australian Rugby League group, the NRL, are playing very hardball to come out swinging and saying 10-year sanction from the competition if you go and join. And I don't know if Rugby Union Australia are saying 10 years, but they're definitely saying, like, you can't come back. Don't come and think you can play in the World Cup in 27 and just come back straight away. So very typical of Peter V'landys in my estimation. I think a 10-year ban is a ridiculous notion. Like, that's enough said. I just think it's ridiculous. And if Payne Haas, for example, let's just talk about the great player as probably the best example. If he goes for one season, let's just say he injures himself, does his hammy, realise, oh, they didn't take care of me, okay, come back, comes to live in Brisbane or Sydney or whatever, like, just let him come back, let him play. I think I just think you got to let that sort of thing happen. Rugby league is not a great international sport, I'm sorry to say, and you're giving the man opportunities that he wouldn't have. And what would be funny, now I'm more of a rugby union fan, so that's me putting my cards on the table. Love rugby union, never played it, but I simply love watching it. If Payne Haas came back to Australia, Peter V'landys closed the door, and then he ended up just going to rugby union, that'd be amazing. That'd be a great story. Sorry to the Broncos fans, I love you. I've been to 2 games at Suncorp Stadium for the Broncos. I'm sure I'll go to more. Please invite me, take me to your box seats, I'll accept. But that would be funny. But anyway, I digress off my digression. I think it's clear that Payne Haas is considering this. I think he should take it. And I think the thing at play is the question, let's just say Peter V'landys, and full respect to the guy, I'd love to interview him, to be honest. That'd be a great conversation. So I hope that happens in the next 5-10 years or 2 years. Is he genuinely thinking about what is for the greater good of humanity, or is business? And I think it's both at the same time, and it's somewhere in the middle. It's a good mixture. So that's why I've landed on this title, which admittedly is slightly clickbaity, but it's the crux of my genuine argument. If you want Payne, just go and take the money, go and travel. As long as, here's another caveat, a digression to my digression. As long as your family's good. I think if I was a professional sportsman and I came to agree that they would take care of me, that the travel schedule wouldn't kill me, and they'd take care of player welfare, and if my family was taken care of and if they were good, I'd do it. I'm sure you won't see Reece Welsh taking an R360 at the moment because he's got a young family. What does he have? At least 1 or 2 kids, you know, young kids in Brisbane. It's why he moved from the Warriors to New Zealand back to his home in Brisbane, and I'm glad he did. Really glad he did. I don't think you're going to see Reece Welsh go off. Maybe in 3 years' time he might, if that his family sort of setup allowed that, or who knows, maybe he makes so much money they can travel with him and do homeschooling. I don't know. And they decide as a family to do that for 9 months. I don't know. As long as your family's good, just take the money. Go and take care of it. As long as they have convinced you and that you believe you'll, you know, take a risk. Life's about risk sometimes. Maybe the whole business will fold and they can't come good and can't pay him. And then Peter V'landys will be, I think you'll be in an awkward spot if you play hardball on your 10-year ban if the competition folds and players want to come back to NRL. So anyway, there's my piece for today. Yesterday was Remembrance Day. It's 11th. We remember the soldiers that died in World War I. We respect the freedom that we have in this country. That's worth mentioning. So happy Remembrance Day for yesterday. I didn't do a video. That's all for now. I'll see you on the next one, which could be about sport or something totally different. All right, peace.